your mats. Bring yourself to a cross-legged position. And we're just going to start with a couple of little circles just to loosen up our bodies before we bring ourselves into a still place. And you can also, if you want here, you can add neck rolls, shoulder rolls. You can really do whatever you want with this movement. I'm just kind of telling you that circles are where to start. And you can really kind of freestyle this if you want to lift your hips up and go both ways. The reason I do this before we really start is just to get out any little extra bits of energy that you have floating around. I'm quite, I always have quite a lot of nervous energy. So when I come on the mat, I can't immediately be still. So for anyone that's like me and you have that little burst of energy, let's just get it out. Maybe give your hands a little shake, maybe give yourself a little shuffle, a little wiggle, move those shoulders, shake it all out. And when you feel like you are in a place where you can be still, just make sure you've got enough space around you to do the class. You're not going to smash into walls or windows. And when you know you've got that physical space, let's find our mental space. So bring yourself into a nice, still, cross-legged position, palms on your knees, and then turn them up to face towards the sky so we can receive energy. Plant those sit bones down onto the mat. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the neck, drop the shoulders, and close your eyes. And deep inhale. And exhale. Let's start to tune into our bodies, into our breath, and tune out our surroundings. Deep inhale, send all of your air down towards the bottom of your lungs and start to fill them like a glass all the way to the top. And when you reach the top, reverse the breath, navel to spine. Expel every last drop of air from your lungs. And again, inhale. And exhale. Start to tune into your breath. With every inhale, feel it wash through you as though it's cleansing your insides. Exhale, release. And to connect to our breath, let's bring our right hand onto our abdomen so we can feel that rise and fall. Keep the breath slow and deep. Take your left hand now, bring it to your heart center. Hopefully your heart has a nice slow and steady rhythm. And if it is going fast, hopefully calming your breath will help bring it down. Breathing into your hands and just feel that connection to your breath, to your heart. And as we're here, we're going to start to check in with our key tension points. We'll start with our facial features, letting go of any tension, any tightness, making sure that we're not frowning unnecessarily, holding on to any tension in the face that makes us screw it up. You want nice neutral facial features. No furrowing the brow. Start to unlock your jaw and unclench those back teeth. Draw the tongue down away from the roof of the mouth. Maybe open your mouth and stink the tongue out a little bit. Now you've relaxed your face, let's start to clear the mind. So I like to use a visual here. Maybe take an imaginary broom and sweep the mind clear of clutter, of wandering thoughts. Leaving it empty and clean. And drop your hands back down onto your knees. And as you do, drop those shoulders down your spine. Feel gravity pulling the shoulder blades down into the earth. Lengthen upwards through the spine and the neck. Draw down through the shoulders and the sit bones. grounded but sitting tall. And as you pull the shoulders away from the ears, notice the difference that you might feel when you let go of all those tension points. We tend to hold on to stress in really subtle ways. So just always checking that you're not frowning or clenching your teeth or drawing the shoulders up without really thinking about it. Those three things can really make such a difference to your mood and to the way that your body feels. Let's start to gently mobilize our own bodies now. Draw your chin towards your shoulder, it doesn't matter which one. And you're very welcome to keep your eyes closed as well. You're going to start to roll the chin from shoulder to shoulder. Gentle mobilization of the neck. From left to right, right to left. And then gently bring that head back to center. Deep shoulder rolls up to your ears, down your spine. You can turn your palms around now so they're facing down on your knees. Really indulge in that shoulder roll. So it's like you're drawing circles with the shoulder blades. Up to your ears, down your spine. Really nice. Well done. And then drop that right ear to your right shoulder. Take your right arm up and try and take hold of the left ear and gently pull. So you're getting a stretch down the left side of the neck. And if you want to, you can reach that left arm out and bring your fingers down onto the mat. Stretching all the way from fingers to ear. You can also lift those fingers so you're trying to reach, get a deeper stretch. Breathe into that stretch. Really nice stretch for the neck. One more breath. Gently let go, bring yourself back to center, drop the left ear to the left shoulder, left arm comes up, left hand to right ear, start to pull down the right side of the neck. You can reach that arm out, your right arm, and touch your fingers to the mat. And if you want to get even deeper, lift the fingers, feel that energy coming up the fingertips, deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Reaching stretch all the way from the ear down to the fingers on the right hand side. And gently let go. Left hand comes in line with your left hip. Bring that right arm up and over, bringing that right arm in line with your ear. And you're going to start to reach across. And as you do, keep that chest open. Feel a stretch from the hip all the way to the finger. And try not to lift that right hip. So you don't want to lift your bum cheeks off the mat. Imagine that they're super glued down. Keep the neck long, keep the shoulders down, reaching across, point those fingers. And if you're feeling like you want to get a little bit deeper, you can come down onto your forearm. Make sure those bum cheeks stay glued, the chest stays open. And what I mean by that is that you're not folding forward or leaning back to overcompensate. Chest open, push into that hip, push into that side. A nice lateral stretch, deep breath. Gently walk the hands around to the right. Bring the right hand in line with the right hip. The left arm comes up and over, bringing that arm in line with your ear. Deep inhale. Exhale, sink into that stretch. Bum cheeks stay grounded, reaching with those left fingertips. Stretching from the left fingers down to the left hip and push into that stretch, push into the side. And if you want to get deeper, you can come down on your forearms. Make sure that your neck stays long. One more breath here. Gently back to center. Draw the arms behind you, interlace the fingers, pull the shoulder blades together like chicken wings and opening the chest. Deep breath, inhale. Nice little shoulder stretch. Breathing into it, really pulling those shoulder blades together at the back. And give me one more here. Unlace the fingers and draw them together at the front. You're going to imagine that you're hugging a giant beach ball. So we're making a circle shape with our arms. Drop the chin to your chest and just make a C shape, curving with your spine, dropping the chin down. Inhale, pull the shoulders apart at the back. So the opposite of what we were just doing. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Gently push those hands up towards the sky. as though you're pushing the air away, dropping the shoulders down nice and long. Let go of the arms, and you're going to bring that right hand behind you like a secondary spine. Let's take a little seated twist. Left hand comes to the outside of your right knee. Sit up tall, gaze over that right shoulder, and push the knee away. Get deep into that twist. Inhale and exhale. Really, really pushing against that right knee with your left hand to get deeper into the twist. But try and make sure that you're not leaning back on your right arm. You're just using it as a support beam. It's not a leaning post. Deep breath and twist. And when we twist, we are compressing our organs, releasing any toxins. Exhale, release. Bring yourself back to center, and we're allowing fresh blood to flow through us. Left hand comes behind us, secondary spine. Right hand to the outside of the left knee, sit up tall, inhale. Exhale, push that knee away. Really, really nice. And I like to think of myself as a dirty dishcloth. When I'm twisting, I'm wringing out all of that dirty water, ready to let fresh water run through me. One of my favorite yoga teachers once said that, and it really resonated with me, so hopefully it resonates with you guys as well. So we're squeezing it all out. Inhale, bring yourself back to center. Take your palms in front, all fours position. Stack your joints, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Push down through the palms, the knees, and the feet. Nice energy coming out of those points, pushing into the mat, and imagining that you're trying to take off. You're trying to lift up and almost fly. So really push against the mat so it feels like you're hovering, drawing that navel in. Keep the spine flat. If you want a little glute and core burner here, tuck those toes under. Push into your heels, lift the knees about 10 centimeters off the mat, and you're keeping that spine flat, core engaged. Push back into the heels, feel it in the glutes. Make sure that you're not dipping the spine. Make sure you're not pushing forward or back. You want to make sure those wrists stay under the shoulders. Keep that breath flowing. And try not to, what we tend to do in core and like holding poses, I see people holding their breath. Your breath will help guide you through these stretches. So let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop down, navel to the floor, gaze up to the sky, cow pose, opening your heart center. Exhale, spread those shoulder blades apart, crown of the head towards the floor. And if you want to continue with mobilizing your spine in your cat-cow, then by all means do. And if you would like to take this and make it your own, get a little weird, get your wiggle on, by all means, start this movement. Start to get into your body. Wake up every little nook and cranny. Maybe you want to get into your hips. Maybe you want to get into your shoulders, your neck. Maybe you just want to draw a figure of 8s with your hip. Maybe you want to do circles with the body. Come all the way forward into your cobra pose, stretching your spine, point those toes. Maybe you want to come back into a child's pose, reach forward with those fingers. Whatever you want to do, maybe you want to get into the wrists, turning them around and pushing into them. Whatever you're doing, the lovely thing about practicing from home is you really can be as weird as you would like and do whatever you would like, and no one can see you. So really take this moment to do those little movements and wake up the body however you would like. Deep breaths here. Really lovely. Give me 3, 2, well done, and 1. Bringing yourself back to center. Take a nice deep breath. Send that right leg out behind you, pointing the toes. You're going to kick that leg up in a nice straight line. Bend the knee and flex the foot. And we're just going to open up the hip with a couple of little circles. So let's go forward first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back the other way. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Keep that knee bent, foot flexed. And if you want to stay here, lovely. If you want to trickle that left hand, so your opposite hand out along the mat, giving yourself a little bit of a balance. Or you can lift that left arm, keeping that spine flat here. Or if you want to go further still, take that left hand behind you, take hold of the right foot, kick that right foot into your left hand, and take your opposite leg stretch, getting into your shoulders, getting into your spine. Gaze straight ahead, find a drishti, a place to rest your gaze if you're balancing. And hold, give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let go. Drop the hand, but keep the foot flexed, the knee bent. Really nice, pushing down through your palms. Tuck that toe under and push up into a three-legged dog, but keep that foot flexed, the knee bent. If you want to go a little further, opening up your hip, keeping the knee bent, the foot flexed. Keep those hands, equal distribution of weight, shoulders away from the ears, rotated externally. Make sure that you're not leaning into one arm in particular. And if you have it in your practice or you would like to try it now, you can walk all the way over into your wilding pose. Make sure that left foot is flat, right foot on the ball of your feet. Reach back with that right hand, left arm solid, nice bend in the spine. Wherever you are, give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wild things. Back to your three-legged dog. And everybody straighten that right leg out behind you. Take a nice deep inhale. Draw that right knee in to meet your right wrist. And take your right leg parallel with the top of the mat, or as parallel as you can get it. It doesn't have to be parallel. Send that left leg back. We're going to take pigeon nice and early on in the class today, just to open those hips a little bit. So you might feel a little bit tight because we haven't really started, but this is a nice one just to get us nice and open. Hips squared to the front, that's the most important thing. Bring your palms flat, send the shoulders down the spine, puff that chest out, nice proud pigeons. So if you feel like you're a little bit uneven in the hips, it's very, very common. You might feel like you're leaning more onto the left-hand side, which is making your right bums kind of lift a little bit, or maybe you're leaning onto the right. So what you can do is you can grab anything, a book, packet of baby wipes, iPhone box, whatever works for you, you can pop it underneath that lifted side. Otherwise, feel free to just lift yourself up a little bit more, just so you find those hips are squared to the front like car headlights. And also don't put your flexibility above your form. If you feel like, yeah, I can get super low, but I'm a bit wonky, better to be higher in the stretch and be nice and straight to the front. So maybe you're happy here, and maybe you want to start to walk those hands forward, and maybe you want to come down onto your forearms, and maybe you want to drop your forehead to the mat. And just take a little sleeping pigeon. And this is a really nice one for just melting the hips open. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale, walk those hands back into an upright position. So you can either stay here, or you can pick up that back foot, your left foot. And if you want to, you can reach back and take hold of your left foot with your left hand. And if you're feeling super flexible, feel free to try and take your left foot into your left elbow crease and take a bind, linking your hands behind your head. Anyone that is past this and wants to try flipping your grip, by all means try. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale, wherever you are. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the foot, place the palms flat in front of you. You're going to tuck that left toe under, lift the left foot, lift the left knee, and step back into a plank position. So I'm going to give you the option of staying in plank here, but if you want to take this a little deeper, we're going to drop down onto our forearms, and we're just going to take some hip dips, a little cool burner. So we're going to dip from side to side, and we're going to do that 10 times. So let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring yourself back to center. And now a little bit more for the core. We're going to rock forward, find our edge, and rock back. 5 of those. 5, and back. 4, core engaged, and back. 3, and back. Well done. 2, and back. And 1, and back. Start to walk those feet in. Bring yourself into a dolphin pose, kind of like downward dog, but on your forearms. And interlace those fingers. So again, if this is a little bit much, feel free to take your downward facing dog. Make sure that your shoulders are rotated externally, whichever one we're in. Take a nice deep breath.
And you're gonna do what I like to call dolphin kisses. So what we do is we bring ourselves forward, kiss and back. So we're gonna do 5 of those. So 5 and back, 4 and back, 3 and back. Good for shoulders, arm strength. 5, oh no, 5, 2, and last one. I don't know where I am. Drop those knees. That's a really good one for core and shoulders. Bring yourself into your little forearms all fours. Come up into your all fours position. Maybe give yourself a little wiggle, a little shake out. And then bringing yourself nice and solid on the mat, pushing down through the palms. Left leg's going to come out behind you, point that toe. Lift that left leg up, bend the knee, flex the foot. Let's open those hips. Little circles forward first. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Back the other way. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well done, really nice. You can either stay here, or you can bring that right arm out in front. Remember, keep the knee bent, the foot flexed. You can lift that right arm, so you're taking a balance. Make sure you keep the spine straight, core engaged. We can reach that right arm back, take hold of the left foot, and give yourself that opposite leg stretch. Really nice, wherever you are. Gorgeous. Every time I do this stretch, there's a really nice sunbeam behind me in the Zoom video, and it looks so cool. Gaze straight ahead, find a drishti place to rest that gaze, and give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let go. Bring those palms flat onto the mat. But keep that foot flexed, the knee bent. Tuck your right toe under and push up. 3-legged dog with a bent knee. Make sure that you're equally distributing the weight. If you want to, you can open that left hip, keep the foot flexed, keep the shoulders equally distributing the weight. And if you have it in your practice, feel free to walk the whole way over. Wild thing pose, reach back with that left arm. Keep those hips high, nice bend in the back. The right foot flat, the right palm solid, reach back with the left. And wherever you are, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wild things, back to your 3-legged dog. Straight that leg out behind you. Draw that left knee in to meet your left wrist. Pigeon pose now on the left-hand side, send the right leg back. Open those hips. Square the hips forward. So you might find as well that one side, you find it quite easy to keep the hips squared to the front, and the other side, you feel a little bit lopsided. So we tend to have a more flexible side or a more strong side. So this is my definitely not flexible or strong side. Gazing straight ahead, make sure those hips are even. So remember, if you are dipping to the side, either lift yourself up out of the stretch a little bit, or pop something underneath that lifted hip to equal you out. Nice bend in the back, and you can either start to walk those hands forward and down onto your forearms, or bring your forehead down onto the mat, torso over your bent knee, and breathe. Feel those hips melting open, even in a resting pose. So sleeping pigeon is an active rest, a passive stretch. So even though it looks like we're not doing anything, we are definitely doing something. We're still opening those hips. And those of you prepping for splits, if you are super serious about it, you can hang out in this pose on both legs for just like 10 to 20 minutes at a time, just to really, really loosen up those hips, let them really, really melt open. You could do anything. You could be on your phone scrolling Instagram while you're doing this. Take a nice deep breath, start to walk those hands back into your upright pigeon. And those of you that would like to lift your back leg, please do. And if you want to take hold of your back foot with your hand, you can. You can also try and take that back foot in your elbow crease. And those of you ready to flip your grip, I'm not sure I can do it on this side, but if you want to, you can. Oh, there we go. And wherever you are, give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop that leg. Place the palms flat. Tuck that right foot under. And you're going to step back into your high plank. And I'm not going to punish you with the core burners again. Keep that plank nice and solid. So you have an option here. You can either push straight back up into your downward dog, or join me for a vinyasa. Tuck those elbows in and come down through your chaturanga. Push forward up, facing dog. Make sure the tops of the feet are down on the mat. Make sure those thighs are lifted. Really nice. Tuck those toes under. Downward facing dog, pushing down through the palms. Okay, So let's soften our knees for our first downward dog and make sure that we're doing everything right. So downward dog is our kind of powerhouse, pretty much in every single yoga class. So it's good to know if we're doing it right. Push down through the palms, and you want to spread your fingers, but kind of rotate the hands outwards. So your middle finger should not be facing straight ahead. It should be facing out to the side slightly. And your elbows are slightly soft. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and always rotate the shoulders externally. That means don't pull them together. Gaze between your arms, gaze between your legs. Feet hip width apart, drawing the navel in towards the spine, and your back should be nice and flat. So if you want to, you can keep your knees bent. I keep my knees bent quite a lot in down dog just because it puts less pressure on my hamstrings and calves. You're very welcome to straighten them out. Draw the heels down towards the mat. We're going to take a few little lifts here just to loosen up our hamstrings and calves. Inhale, raise up on your toes. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Keep that breath flowing. Keep that navel drawn in. Keep the back flat. Lovely. And lower. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And last one. Inhale. And exhale. Take a nice deep breath. You're going to wave forward into a high plank position. We're going to take some little circles here. You're going to start to drop the knees towards the mat, but just hover them, don't drop them. Send the bum back and up, downward dog. So we go plank, knees hovered, bum back, down dog. Let's do 4 of those. Plank, knees, bum down dog. Nice and fluid. Plank, knees, bum down dog and plank. Knees, bum down dog and plank. Knees, bum down dog. Really nice. Take a deep breath. Start to walk those feet towards the hands, bringing yourself into your Uttanasana, forward fold. Soften the knees. Bring your hands underneath the feet, drawing that torso towards the thigh. So again, very, very important here. It's much better to have bent knees than a curve in the spine. So if you feel like, if you have straight legs, you're a little bit curved over, it's much better to just keep the knees soft for now, keep the torso onto the thighs, and over time start to straighten them, taking your torso with you. So breathe here, hands underneath your feet. This is a really good one for stretching the hamstrings, the spine, and the shoulders. It's good for runners. Deep breath, pulling yourself towards the thighs. And if you want to, you can take those hands out. You can bring your hands onto the back of your legs if you want to. Deep breath, inhale. We're going to soften the knees even more. Bring those arms up in line with your ears. And bring yourself into your chair pose. And I'm just going to move the camera so that I'm not cutting my head off, because that is what I do now. So let's just move that camera slightly. Just move it back a little bit. So chair pose, weight in your hip sockets, and what that does is it makes sure that our knees don't go past our feet. Make sure the feet are together. Make sure that tailbone's tucked under, core engaged. You want a nice straight spine, arms in line with your ears. Sit into that imaginary chair. So really putting that weight in the hip sockets. So if you want to go outside and clap for the NHS, then please do. If it is 8 o'clock, I can hear everyone on my street doing it. You are very welcome to. Everyone's staying. What we're going to do, you're going to lift that left foot. If you want to, you can stay in chair pose, but this is optional. You can lift your left foot, place that left ankle onto your right knee into a 4-point pose. So you're kind of crossing your legs in that imaginary chair. Keeping those arms up in line with your ears. And if you would like to, you can also start to fold forward here, bringing your palms down onto the mat, keeping that left ankle against the right knee. Really nice. Well done, everybody. Deep breath. Place those palms nice and flat if you can. And if you are not in your forward fold, please come into your forward fold now. And we're going to take that left leg out behind us into our standing split. So if you were with your lifted leg, just bring that out behind you, left leg. So your standing split is probably going to look more like an L shape than a split unless you're mega, mega flexible. And from here, we're just going to take a nice deep breath. Bend your left knee, bend your right knee, and drop that left knee towards the right ankle. And lift. And let's go for 3, and lift, well done, and 2, and lift, and 1, and lift. Take a deep breath, step back with that left foot, make sure the right foot's planted, bring your arms up in line with your ears, high lunge, make sure the hips are under the shoulders, sink into that front knee bend, really good for your knees. High lunges because they work all those muscles around the knees that need to be healthy. For your knees to be healthy, shoulders away from the ears, take a nice deep breath. Turn that left foot out and open your arms out to the side. Warrior 2. I'm just going to switch sides. I'm also going to bring this back so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So Warrior 2. Make sure that tailbone's tucked under. Arms in line with your shoulders. Start to hinge forward. Reach that right arm forward. Turn the right palm upwards and hinge back. Left hand goes down the back of the left leg. Right arm up and over. So we're going to do a couple of little movements here. So we're going to breathe, inhale. And as we exhale, you're going to come into your extended side angle. You're going to bring the right arm across, the left arm up and over. And back. Down into your reverse warrior. Left arm down the back of the left leg. Right arm up and over. Inhale. Exhale. Extended side angle. Right arm comes across. Left arm up and over. Inhale. Reverse warrior. Left arm back. Right arm over the top. Well done. And once more, bring that right arm across. Left arm up and over. And from here, let's start to open those arms. Bring yourself into your triangle pose. Make sure it's a straight line from hand to hand, shoulder stacks. If you're happy here, lovely. If you would rather take your extended side angle, bring your right forearm onto your right thigh. Left arm over the top, straight line from finger to foot. Keep your chest open, don't just be hanging out at the pub. Make sure your neck is long, really nice. And those of you wanting to go further still, you can take a bind, bringing that right arm underneath, left arm over the top. And remember, if you're taking a bind, you want to keep that chest open, so try not to collapse forward. And wherever you are, take a deep breath. Start to straight that front leg. So if you have got your arms open, keep them open. If you were in extended side angle, open both arms. And if you're in a bind, now open both arms. Bring yourself into your extended triangle pose. Try and gaze up at that extended arm. So we want to make sure that we're aligned, like our body's popped in a toaster. To make sure our hips are aligned, you can take your left hand into the small of your back and gently push those hips. So if this pose feels a little bit uncomfortable, you're probably doing it right. Bring that left arm up, stack those shoulders, deep breath here, inhale. And exhale, bring yourself up to standing. Fingers and thumbs on your hips and start to steer those hips squared to the front. You'll probably need to turn that back foot in. You want both feet, both hips facing straight ahead, both legs nice and straight. So equal distribution of weight. And the reason we want our hips squared to the front is we don't want a naughty open hip. So we're going to start to come forward. Bring your arms in line with your ears and start to hinge at the hips, bringing yourself forward with a nice flat back. And when you reach halfway, making sure that back stays nice and flat. Well done. Just hold here, engage, and breathe. Give me 5, 4. Some of you might want to take a little shoulder stretch here, reach your arms behind you, make sure you keep the spine flat. You might even want to try and take a reverse prayer. You're very welcome to try that as well. Bring your palms behind you. Well done. And hold 3 more breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Wherever you are, you're going to start to bring the hands down either onto the mat on either side of the foot, or you can bring them to your ankle, your calf if you want to. Keep both legs nice and straight and start to try and hinge forward, draw the torso towards the thigh into your pyramid pose. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. 1 more deep breath. And start to walk those hands through to the center. Bring yourself into your wide leg forward fold. Really good for lower back pain. So we're extending the spine here. Start to draw the crown of the head towards the floor. And this is prep for tripod headstand, which we are going to go we are going to go over this week at some point. So starting to draw that crown of the head towards the floor, bring the palms and the head into a sort of tripod, little table shape. Really feel that stretch down the back of the hamstrings. Take a nice deep breath. And then gently walk your hands across to the right, turn both feet forward, bend that right knee, place the palms flat and step back into a plank position. I'm going to switch sides again. Into your plank position and either pushing straight up into your down dog or join me for a vinyasa. Tuck those elbows in, come down through your chaturanga, push forward, upward facing dog, push back, downward facing. Make sure that your fingers are slightly facing outwards, rotating the shoulders externally. Make sure that spine's nice and straight. And take a nice deep breath. Start to walk those feet towards the hands. Slight bend in the knee, Uttanasana, forward fold through the torso to the thigh. Tuck those hands underneath the feet. And draw yourself forward, deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Really nice, deep breath, inhale. And exhale. So remember, with your hands underneath the feet, you're stretching your spine, your shoulders, your hamstrings. And if you can't keep your back straight with straight legs, then slightly bend the knees. It's much better to have bent knees than a curved spine. You can also, if you feel like you want to, bring your hands onto the back of your thighs and start to draw yourself closer. Really nice. Deep breath. Place your palms flat, bend the knees, start to lift your arms, bring yourself into your chair pose, pop all the weight into your hip sockets. Sitting back into that imaginary chair, feet together, knees together. Make sure the knees don't go past the toes. Tuck that tailbone under. Make sure it's a nice straight back. Arms in line with your ears. Sit into that imaginary chair. Popping your bum back onto it. Well done, lovely. And take a nice deep breath. Shoulders away from the ears. And if you want to stay here, lovely. If you want to take your little 4-point pose, you're going to lift your right leg this time. And pop that right ankle onto your left knee like you're sitting in a chair with crossed legs. And you can also, if you want to go deeper, bring your hands forward and take a little forward fold in this position. A little one leg forward fold. And you'll feel as well the glute stretching and the hip opening on the right hand side. Deep breath, inhale. Really nice. And wherever you are, if you're in chair pose or if you are in one-legged chair pose, you're going to bring yourself forward into your forward fold. Place the palms flat. And if you are already in your forward fold, we're all now going to bring that right leg out behind us into your standing split. So it's probably just going to look more like an L shape. Take a nice deep breath, bend both knees, right knee to left ankle, and straighten. Let's go for 3, and straighten, 2, and straighten, and 1. And straighten and step all the way back. Right foot down, left foot planted, hip square to the front. High lunge, make sure those hips are under the shoulders. Sink into that front knee bend, well done. Good for your knees. The balance also works to strengthen the legs. Turn that right foot out, arms in line with your shoulders. Warrior 2, tuck the tailbone under, lovely. And breathe. And start to hinge forward. Turn that left palm up. Send the right arm down the back of the right leg. Left arm up and over into your reverse warrior. Deep inhale here. Exhale, left arm comes across your body, right arm up and over, extended side angle. Inhale, right arm down the back. Left arm up and over. Exhale, left arm comes across your body, right arm over the top. And send that right hand back down, left arm up and over. Last time. The left arm's going to come across, the right arm comes up and over. And if you would like to stay in your extended side angle, you can bring your left forearm onto your left thigh, your right arm stays up and over. Make sure the chest is open, make sure it's a straight line from toe to finger. You can also open your arms, take your triangle, make sure those shoulders are stacked, arms in a nice straight line. On those of you wanting to go deeper still, take a bind, left arm underneath the left leg, right arm over the top. Remember to keep that chest nice and open though. You don't want to fall forward and collapse. Deep breath, inhale. And wherever you are, Start to straight that front leg. And if you are like me, one side will be way tighter. This is my tight side. And everybody opening those arms now. Make sure it's wrist to wrist, nice straight line, shoulders stacked. Gaze up at your extended arm, and don't worry if that left hand is not by your left ankle. That is not important. What's important is your hip alignment. So if your left hand's by your knee and you still got hip alignment, perfect. Wonderful way to get hip alignment is to do this up against a wall, but that does throw off the whole practice. So the other way is to take your right hand now into the small of the back, push those hips into alignment, and reach up. Gazing at that extended arm, deep breath, inhale, and exhale. And bring yourself back to standing. You're going to take fingers and thumbs onto your hips. Square those hips to the front. You're probably going to have to turn that right foot in now. Keep both legs nice and straight. And remember, we want hips towards the front like car headlights. So we don't want a naughty open hip. Legs nice and straight for your pyramid. Make sure, so I always put fingers and thumbs on my hip bones to make sure that they're steering forward. Then bring your arms up in line with your ears. Start to hinge at the hips. Keep the spine straight. Bring yourself down with a flat back. Well done, lovely. Keep those arms in line with the ears. And once you get to halfway, you can either stay here, or you can bring your arms behind you, take a little shoulder stretch. Or if you want to try and take your reverse prayer, by all means, you can also take that. Well done. Keep that back straight and give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let go of the hands and bring them either on either side of the foot, the ankle or the calf, and start to draw the torso towards the thigh. Keep those hips squared to the front. Make sure there's an equal distribution of weight between those legs. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale, pulling yourself forward. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Really nice, well done. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk those hands to the center, wide leg, forward fold. And if you want to here, you can take your fingers around your big toes. Start to pull those elbows out to the sides. So they make a kind of square shape as you pull the crown of the head towards the floor. Hinge at the hips, extend the spine. Feel that pull on the back of the hamstrings. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more deep breath. Start to walk those hands back to the front. Bring your palms on either side of that front foot. Step back into your plank position. And either pushing straight up into your downward dog or take your vinyasa. Elbows in, come down. Push forward, upward facing. Push back, downward facing. Take a little breath. Slight bend in the knees, gaze straight ahead. Step, float, or jump through to seated on your mats. Well done, really nice. Place your feet flat, knees bent, arms in line with your legs, and start to peel yourself back down onto the mat. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Really nice and slowly, one vertebra at a time. Bring your palms down on either side of your hips. Draw the heels in towards the bum. Make sure your feet and knees are hip width apart, parallel like train tracks. And your spine is glued down onto the mat. So when your spine is completely flat, you'll probably find your pelvis has a gentle tilt upwards, and that's what you want. We're going to take, I always get myself out of shot. We're going to take a little shoulder bridge, which is a really nice one to kind of end with because it's good for anxiety, insomnia, and stress. It's good for strengthening the glutes and the hamstrings, good for your spine, good for your shoulder. It's a bit of an all-rounder. It's not as intense as downward dog, I don't think. Make sure you keep those feet and knees parallel. Make sure you keep them about hip width apart. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, send those hips up towards the sky. Imagine someone's got a string pulling you up through the pelvis. Walk those shoulder blades together. Interlace the fingers, hips nice and high. Deep breath, inhale, feet flat. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale, feel that engagement in the glutes and the hamstrings. And if you are wanting to do pelvic floor exercises, this is one of the best exercises, one of the best postures to take
pelvic floor exercises in, so always inhale to release. Exhale, draw the pelvic floor in. So if you've had a baby, these are really, really good ones to do. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull those pelvic floor muscles in. Keep those hips high. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Unlace the fingers gently. Roll the spine back down onto the mat. Knees into the chest, up and asana. Gently rock from side to side. Release your spine. Take those arms out on either side. Bring your legs into a tabletop. Drop both knees over to the left, gaze to the right. Just reaching down, gazing down those right fingers. Really feel that nice little supine twist. Again, if you're pregnant, please avoid this one. And breathe. Bring the knees back to center. Drop the knees over to the right and gaze to the left. Well done, guys. Bring yourself back to center. Start to straighten your body out. Point those fingers. Point those toes. Reach the arms up above your head. You're reaching from one side of the room to the other. Full body stretch. You guys should know the deal by now. Imagine someone's got you by the fingers. Someone's got you by the toes. They're trying to pull you to add extra inches onto your body. There should be so much tension in this body that your limbs are literally shaking. Forget everything I've told you to do during the class. I want you to draw those shoulders up with all the tension. Make a million double chins. Screw your facial features up. Tiny beady eyes. Make the ugliest face you've ever made in your life. There's so much tension in your body. And while we're here, throw in all your mental tension as well. And like I said, good to do this every day. Just build up all that tension and just throw it back out into the universe. Not a permanent fix. Just feels nice to do. Throw it all in there. Everything that's been annoying you, everything that's worrying you, everything that's stressing you out. Pour it all into this stretch. Reach like you can't get away. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let go. Bring the arms down by your side. Let your feet forward, open, melt down into the mat. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. Now is the chance if you want to grab any blankets, socks, jumpers, cushions, a glass of water, dim your lights, pop on some music, whatever you want to do for your shavasana, for your relaxation, please feel free. On the other hand, if you don't want to stay for shavasana, I definitely won't be offended. I know it's not for everyone. You're very welcome to log off now. Otherwise, find your space. Close your eyes. Melt down into your mat. And take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Expand your abdomen. Send all of that air down towards the bottom of your lungs. Exhale, release the breath. Take yourself back to where you were at the beginning of the class. Free your mind of any thoughts or worries, anything that doesn't serve you in this moment. Maybe go back to taking that imaginary broom and sweeping the mind clear. And as you lay here, start to check in with those key tension points. Make sure the shoulders are down, away from the ears, allowing your neck to grow long. Feel them grounding down into the mat, drawing away from the ears. Make sure your facial features are soft and gentle. Jaw unlocked. Teeth unclenched and tongue down away from the roof of the mouth. Take your attention to your feet and feel them drop open on the mat. each toe unraveling one by one. Ankles, calves, knees and thighs becoming lightweight as though the batteries have fallen straight out of you. All the way up to the base of your spine and feeling each vertebrae unravel one by one, melting down into the mat, trickling down all the way up to your ears and feeling those shoulders melt down away from your ears, melt down your spine, leaving your neck long. Feel yourself melt down into the mat like lava. Head light and facial features soft, jaw unlocked. Arms lightweight and open at your side with your palms facing upwards, each finger unraveling. Finally, take your attention to your chest and abdomen. Feel each slow and steady rise and fall of your breath wash through you as though it's cleansing. Allowing your heart and your breath to slow to a deep and steady rhythm. Calm and soft rhythm, allowing you to melt deeper into your mat. And focus in on that rhythm. And take these moments just for you. As you inhale and exhale. Just enjoy the very relaxing sounds of silence. And start to wiggle your fingers and your toes to draw awareness back into your body. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Start to rock from side to side to release the spine on the mat. Gently bring yourself over into a fetal position. And start to bring yourself up to seated on your mat, palms on your knees. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. As you exhale, let out a deep sigh. And again, inhale. And exhale. And once more for that deep inhale. Draw your palms together at your heart center. Thank you all so much for practicing with me this evening. Have a lovely rest of your night. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Namaste. As always,